guys, it's Becca. K-beauty has set so many trends over the years, and I promise you some of them are actually so useful to know. So today I thought I'd compile a few of my favorites and show you how they work. Honestly, some of them are a little bit strange, I will admit, but you will see the results as we go along. It's like these really easy and minor adjustments to your makeup routine can make such a big difference. Don't mind my little patch of psoriasis here, just so inconveniently set right here in the middle of my neck. The first tip is to make fake beauty marks, but very strategically placed. I know so many people try to cover up the spots on their faces, but that is a thing of the past. In fact, people these days will not only accentuate but also create new spots on their faces. What I mean by strategically placed, the beauty spot will actually draw the center of focus to where it's placed, so in turn that general area will kind of be shortened or longer depending on where you place it. It's basically an optical illusion. I'm also going to show some celebrity examples. One of the most iconic ones is I think Chang Won-young's. She has one right kind of underneath the end of her eye and another one kind of near the top of her lip. I actually love the ones next to the eye. It kind of looks like a little jewel. So you want to grab a dark brown eyeliner. This is the Kiss Me Smooth Liquid Eyeliner, and it's good if it kind of has a pointed tip like this one. The further in that you draw the dot, the more like pulled together your features are gonna look. Same for the other way as well. The more you pull it out, the more wider apart your features gonna look. So I'm just gonna place mine more sort of inwards and a little bit downwards as well. Just sort of dot it on. If you make a mistake, that's okay. You can just rub it out. Make it into a circular shape. So like this. I also naturally have a dot on this side like her, so I'm gonna accentuate a little bit. I'd honestly say to start with really small ones at first, just because there is the risk of it looking quite fake if it's big, especially if it's your first time trying it. If you want it to look more natural, you can also go with a layer of foundation, just a very thin layer, and that should help to sort of blend it in a bit more and not make it look so obvious that it's an eyeliner mark. If you want it to look a bit more natural, you can also use an eyebrow pencil. Slightly blend the edges of that as well. And that'll make it appear a bit softer. I made the dot quite small, so I don't know if you can really see on the camera, but I think having these two dots in the middle here sort of help to shorten the mid face, especially this one here. This one, I feel like it kind of accentuates the lip area. The next one I'm gonna try is Jennie's one. She's got this dot sort of in between her eye and her eyebrow, and that's gonna sort of bring your eyebrows closer to your eye. Around about here. The higher you put it, the more lifted your eye will look as well. And about here. I wouldn't make this one too big. Can you see it? V from BTS also actually has one right at the tip of his nose. I think this one helps to shorten the length of the nose a little bit, so let me show you. Oh gosh, I made this so big. I think if you put it towards the outer part, it'll make it look a bit more rounded, and more towards the middle, it'll make it look a little bit more pointier at the end. aespa's Karina also has a really elegant dot, and it's just kind of underneath her lip on her chin. If you place that around about here on your chin, this one brings attention to the bottom half of your face, the chin areas. I think it's good if you have a very like top heavy bold eye look, and then you want to balance that out without going too much on the lip. The last example I'll give is Mina from Twice, and this is one of my favorites. It's a really pretty dot in sort of like the bridge of her nose. So this one can do a few things. If you put it up sort of higher up on your face in between the eyes, it will elongate your nose and also sort of bring your eyes closer together. That kind of brings a more elegant look. But if you put it a bit more further down around here, it will help shorten the nose. It'll still bring your features together because this is where the center of focus is, but it'll give more of a cute image. So I'd say the higher one is kind of what Mina has. You can see the effects of that, but for me, I'll try to draw it a little bit downwards because I kind of have a longer mid face, and I'm gonna try to shorten it so the side of the nose, like here. Well, it's actually quite hard to tell on camera, but it's like super prominent in real life. I think this one and the Won-young one are my top favorites. I'm just gonna go with the Won-young dots for the rest of this video. The next step is going to be some very small and unusual contour points. I'm going to show you 5 of them. I'd say these work well with a small flat brush like this. And I've got the Art Class by Rodin contour palette in shade Modern, which is a cool tone version of the famous original one. I'm gonna start off with the very darkest shade here. Grab a little on the tip like that. Aegyosal contour, which a lot of people know already. So this is the first one. Don't do it right where the line is. Do it sort of underneath the line. So kind of more like here. And I like to sort of drag mine a little bit outwards like this. Blend it out towards the end so it looks natural. Do you see the difference? This one does a few things. The shadow under here makes your eye look a lot bigger, and taking up some space down here, it helps to shorten the mid face as well. And also usually the aegyosal here, it comes up when someone's typically smiling and their eyes have like a smiling eye look. So in that way, it also helps to give you a bit more of like a frillier, brighter image as well. The trick is to make it really soft and natural, but also not blending too much, because this can look really fake and muddy like so quick. And if it's done too harsh and too dark, it's kind of like, what is going on? It's kind of scary. You don't want it to look like a straight up line. You want it to look like a shadow. And I'm sure everyone's familiar with the usual nose contour from like the eye socket down here, got the tip of the nose, and also maybe like up here as well to make it look more rounded. But to add an extra step to that, if you kind of want these edges of your nose to look a bit slimmer, mix the darkest and the lighter shade here at the end here. Add it like that. Just on the actual nose, make sure it doesn't go into hair. Make sure it just stays on this rounded point of the nose. Blend that out and then do the same on the other side. This side definitely looks a little bit more closed in. Done. The next one is right here in the filter. We want to go up here to bring a shadow for the cupid's bow. Also a line that goes down the middle like this. Make like a little well here. It doesn't have to be perfect. You see how that accentuates the heart shape of the bow? Blend that out a little bit wider, but not too wide. So I did that one with the darker shadow, and then with a slightly lighter one, just gonna connect that with a line that goes up in the center into a triangle shape if you can. When I was little, my grandma and my mom used to grab these parts here and then pinch them together like this, because they said it's nice if there's a line there. And I've tried to think about it, about why that's a beauty standard. I honestly think there's no particular reason. The only thing I can come up with is there are some celebrities who have very prominent like philtrum dips, should I say, like a philtrum crease. The person I can think off the top of my head is Jung So-min and maybe like Suzy, which got me thinking like they sort of have like a cute bunny like image. I'm thinking maybe that's where it came from. Like cute animals, they all have like a line here, so maybe that's the reason. I really don't know. I do like the accentuating the cupid's bow though. Usually, mostly I just do that one. Koreans, I feel like are really into like the smiling face, so the same goes for lips. This one's going to be a little bit strange if it's the first time you're seeing it. Grab the darkest shade and then I can't talk while I'm doing this, but I've angled it up and then the corner of the lips so that they lift up, like you're kind of like, you know, just smiling like that, like a smiling resting face without the effort. Obviously don't bring it out too much because then you will look like the Joker. And lastly, if you can see this line under here, you can also deepen that part so that you have a more poutier bottom lip, just right where it sort of dips there. So that is with all the contour points. It's a subtle difference, but I feel like the face looks a lot more refined. Next is the outer under eye blush placement. We know we have our apple of the cheek placement. We also have the cheekbones. There is also the Japanese style under eye, which is kind of right underneath here, but it's also not that. This one is a little bit different to that because it's kind of more sort of on the outer part. I've seen so many K-pop idols wear their blush like this recently. I'm gonna use two different types of blushes. One is more of like a base neutral shade, and then this one is slightly more darker. And you want to go with a blush brush like this, and even something like this for the accent shade. So going in first with that lighter shade, this is End of the Stories in Shifili Sand. Just gonna grab a little bit. From here, we're gonna make like a sort of sideways heart shape and closes the eye like that. With the base shade, you can sort of spread it out a little bit wider. Blend it out to the back, and then the accent shade, this one is Apple Bloom Pink, and keep it towards the upper part that's closest to the eye. So I've done one side if you want to compare. It looks a lot more lifted. I don't know why this looks more youthful to me than the apple of the cheeks. Doing it on the apples of your cheeks makes it look a bit more fresh. I think doing it up here is the one that makes it look more youthful, in my opinion. Because it's lifted and it's more towards the outer area, I think if you also put the blush here at the tip of the nose and then also on the chin, it kind of forms like this guide to where your eyes should focus, which I think kind of gives the appearance of the V-line shape where the chin is a bit more pointy, and then yeah. So let's try it. Taking a bit of that cooler shade, I'm just gonna apply it on the tip of the nose. I could even use it as my eyeshadow. It'll make the look more cohesive as well because the color is distributed all throughout. And this is what it looks like. Lastly, I want to show you how to get the plump jelly style lip. How to overline your lips in a very natural sort of way. Okay, removing what I got now. I used an Amuse tint, the glossy one, before. The stain that it leaves is incredible. I have nothing on my lips anymore, but look how pink they still look. This will be a lot easier with a lip liner. I currently don't own one just because I'm not entirely too convinced that I actually need one yet, because I have this brush and I have lipstick which can do the same thing, but it's definitely, if I ever do end up buying one, it'll definitely be more of like a convenience thing. I'm going to be using MAC's Velvet Teddy for this one. It's like a nice little nude shade that matches my lips, and I'm also going to be using a pointed lip brush. It's not the entire lip that you want to line. There's certain points that I'm going to show you now. First is on top of the Cupid's bow. So you do it up here. Just try to make it as soft as possible. It's just 3 points, by the way. It's so easy. Next, you want to do the sides of your bottom lip. Just the sides, not the center. Just extend it a little bit so that there's more of a curve, and then connect it to the natural center line. Just keep blurring it out, and then you can carry on with your lip routine. So I'm just gonna go with my Wet Make Dewy Gel Glaze Stick, and I love this so much. It's glossy and the color payoff is so good as well. Focusing towards the middle. I'm also going to add a gloss to make it extra jelly-like. You can use any gloss. I'm going to use the Peri Paras Ink Lasting Lip Gloss in number 7, So What. Focusing on the center of the lips and especially the Cupid's bow. I think it looks so pretty when the Cupid's bow here is especially shiny. I'm going to really highlight the gloss up there, and we're done. This is the finished look. What do you think? Get closer. Those are all the tips I'm going to show today. There are definitely a few more on my mind, so I want to come back for part 2. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!